Does anyone have a question I'd like to
ask? Stuart?
Yes, Larry.
Yeah, these classes continue to get deeper and stronger. Can you talk about the connection to the transformation we're living through as humanity?
You mean, are these classes going to change the world?
No, I'm just saying is the connect these. You've always said.
Yeah, I can talk about this because look, what these classes are about is something I speak about a lot. They're about, one, building an inner life that is strong enough to deal with all the stuff that goes on in this world. And in that way, we transform the world that we live in because we begin to see it differently. It is no longer threatening, it's no longer an enemy, it becomes a teacher of exactly what we have to do to grow every day. So yes, these classes, purpose of them is to build that kind of inner strength, because it's the only way we can really work out whatever karma we have to work out on this planet, is to build inner strength that gives us the capacity to do it. I mean, look, the world is not going to change. I mean, look, I can't remember a day in my life when this world hasn't been crazy. And that's kind of a big thing to say, but I try to think back and remember, it's always been like, like a zoo, like a crazy place. The only thing I can remember is having met Rudy and having learned how to do this meditation from him, which took time, which gave me the capacity to live here and deal with this world in a way where I don't lose an open heart, love, compassion. I don't lose my humanity. And that's what this is about, you understand? Because look, when Adam and Eve left the Garden of Eden, everything got crazy. I mean, it's just a metaphor for what I'm talking about. Cain and Abel, brothers killing brothers. And it's been this way since the beginning of time. The difference is one can utilize, this, for a better word, meditation, to build a system inside where the craziness of life does not destroy our humanity. We can still keep an open heart. We can still love. We can still have compassion for the sufferings of people. We can look at other human beings and instead of judging them, we can find the God that really exists inside them. And I think this is, to me, the key to all of this, because living on the highest levels of one humanity allows God to come in. The universe is not fighting our tension, our ego, what we think is real, and not, there's room for the universe to come inside us and nurture us. All of that we do is about this. And one begins to see the world differently. It's no longer intimidating, threatening. The transformation that takes place is not necessarily in life. You see all these politicians, they're going to put money into this. And I've been hearing that all my life. And it's only gotten worse. The way that they treat the world. If people would say, okay, we will do the effort to fix ourselves. And if people would fix themselves inside, the external world would really change. There would be less craziness in the world. So everybody thinks they're going to fix what's out there. And from the beginning of time, they've been telling us what's out there is just an illusion. It's just a reflection of the chaos that exists inside every human being. That's what we see out there. If we fix the chaos, the out there is going to change. And that, to me, is the real transformation, not trying to fix what's out there, but fixing oneself. Building that kind of an inner life that allows us to truly have harmony, balance, love, an open heart, we are strong enough to do that. That will fix the world. And also it'll fix the way we see the world. And I think that's really an important thing, because then one is no longer intimidated by all this nonsense that goes on in life. Yeah, the world, you know, you think that this COVID thing would have taught people. I mean, you know, it was really funny. I live in a building, you know, where there's an elevator. And while the COVID thing was really serious here in the United States, you know, nobody was ever in the elevator. You wore a mask, there might be one other person there. Well, the other day, the elevator opened and there was 9 people in the elevator. So I stepped into the elevator and I said, we're back to normalcy again. You know, this is normal living. You know, it was almost better when, you know, the elevator, there was nobody there. You know, one person was there. Or I'm driving in traffic when this COVID thing hit, you could drive through New York City in 20 minutes, 10 minutes. There was no traffic. And the other day I'm driving with my daughter, you know, we had to go somewhere. There was so much traffic. We were back to normalcy again, back to the insanity, which people think is normal. I mean, I think it's just a kick. When I stepped into the elevator, I looked at everybody, I said, we're back to normalcy again. And people started to laugh, you know. So real, I mean, look, there's never anything going to be normal in this life, but real balance, harmony, quiet is internal. It's inside us. It's not in the external world. That is where the transformation takes place. And when we do that in ourselves, the world changes. We see it differently. We can laugh at normalcy, you know, instead of getting irritated, you know. I hope this is clear. This is such an important thing for us to recognize. And I know in my own life, this has been such a major step just to come to this realization in my own life. It's just helped me so much to deal with all the things I had to deal with and still have to deal with. Does anyone else have a question they would like to
ask? Stuart?
Yes.
Do you have anything to say about, like, I think it's a Buddhist concept of no self? There is no self. This type of stuff.
You know, look, part of a little chant I do in myself is I say, please help me to be nothing and to be at the center of creation. Please help me. I always say this to myself. The less of me, the more of God will come into me and guide my life. It's very much a part of growing. And it's not just a Buddhist concept, it's in every religion. Letting go of not the dogma and all the nonsense that people practice in religion, but at the core of every religion, it truly has to do with becoming nothing. Becoming a child of God. You can't become a child of God if you're full of yourself. So we have to become gradually surrendering ego, opinion, mind, all that tension in ourselves to allow God's Spirit to come into us and guide our lives. So we have to really attain a state of nothingness. You know, and a state of nothingness doesn't mean that, you know, we become, you know, a void. It means that we can allow Spirit to come through, which fills us with everything that's conceivable that we have to learn in the universe. I'm very much a proponent of that Buddhist concept of selflessness. because it really doesn't work if we're full of ourselves. There's no room for spirit. There's only room for this voice that never shuts up, that yaks endlessly into the night. And that just creates a lot of tension inside people. And I'm sure if you go to the core of every single religion, you're going to find that. Surrender to Christ, to the Buddha, to Krishna, Muhammad. That surrender, letting go of ourselves so this divine wisdom can come and flow through us. Just letting go of who we are, who we think we are. I always used to kid around saying, even saints, if they want to be enlightened, they have to surrender their sainthood. You can't be anything. You have to be in a state of total surrender. To be a child of God, you know? And even that, you got to surrender. Be nothing. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And that really is major. Talk about transformation. That is major transformation. That is the kind of transformation that brings on spiritual enlightenment.
So just to be.
Excuse me?
It's just to be, sort of, and allowing the energy just to flow, or life to flow through you with no...
Exactly what I just said, you know, yeah. Not to interfere with your head, with your ideas, your opinions, your tension, well, let it just be, And if you just are, you just be, then you're living in the moment. You're not bouncing from the past to the future. You know, you're living right here. Be like Ram Dass said, be here now. And that other guy wrote a book, The Power of Now. I mean, that's really divine wisdom. I mean, I don't know if Ram Dass lived that way, but he sure understood the idea. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
I have another question. If we could talk about the, well, I feel it myself, like this mystery of being, which is also something I read somewhere, but it's like this inherent mystery to existence. And when we meditate, we go so deep, it's like going into another dimension, like a deeper dimension, how I experience it. And there's something really profound and beautiful about.
Yes, God bless you. There's something profound and beautiful going into that dimension. Mm-hmm. And there's so much mystery about being in the now, because that's where all creative energy exists. It's in the moment. Mm-hmm. And it's all mystery. You're right. What we know is about 2% of all knowledge in our heads. The rest of it is mystery. You open to it, it comes and teaches you the greatest mysteries of all, and that's how to become one with God. Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask? This was a really strong class. By the strongest class I ever sat through on the internet. And I just say thank you for being here, for participating in this. And I just truly hope and wish to God that all of you are benefiting enormously from what is going on here. And bless you. And I'm telling you, that I'm going to have to just sit down for about an hour and absorb what took place in his meditation. It was so powerful. So hopefully I'll see everybody on Sunday. You have a wonderful afternoon or evening, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.